In the history of physics, the story of Edward Bouchet is one that stands out. Edward Bouchet's life was fascinating. Throughout it, he shattered racial barriers and showed off courage and determination we still admire today. Bouchet was born on September 15th of 1852. He was born into a poor family. His father was an unskilled worker, being brought to Connecticut as an enslaved valet and later being emancipated. His mother was a housewife. However, he was constantly being encouraged by his parents to get an education, him and his three sisters as well. In the 19th century, segregation, slavery, and discrimination were still core issues facing the U.S. The North was anti-slavery, but discrimination and lesser opportunities for African Americans were still present and active issues everywhere. Bouchet went to the Artisan Street Colored School, one of only 3 schools that accepted black children. He only had one teacher there, Sarah Wilson. She encouraged his academic ability until he attended New Haven High School from 1866 to 68. He then attended Hopkins High School from 7th to 12th grade. He was elected as valedictorian.
In the fall of 1870, Bouchet entered Yale University. He wasn't the first black student to get accepted, but he was the first to graduate. Bouchet was a model student, elected to the leading honor society Phi Beta Kappa. He was so passionate about learning that his talent spread all the way to Philadelphia, where the philanthropist Alfred Cope of the Institute for Colored Youth heard of him. He wanted Bouchet to teach at the center after graduating, and paid for his attendance. In 1874, Bouchet graduated from Yale. He was ranked 6th in his class of 124 students. Clearly already on the path to greatness, Bouchet began his doctorate in physics at Yale. Taught by Professor Arthur Wright, the first to attain a physics PhD from an American university, he blazed through his doctorate. He finished his PhD in just 2 years.
Even after his accomplishments so far and is already becoming of a role model for future generations, Bouchet wasn't immediately offered a job. In fact, due to racial discrimination, he was unable to find a job in spite of his absurd resume. After this initial period where he was unable to find a job, he went to the ICY like Cope always wanted him to. For the next 26 years, he would lead the school's science program, teaching multiple subjects like physics, chemistry, astronomy, and geography. In 1902, the school changed its mission and vision. Instead of focusing on academic education, the school now focused on vocational education. This meant that Bouchet left. Subsequently, he held various jobs in different states, teaching in Missouri, Ohio, Virginia, and Texas. Returning to New Haven in 1916, he died in 1918 at 66. Until 1988, his death went unnoticed and his academic contributions to the world went unknown. It wasn't until 1998 that Yale put down a headstone to honor his contributions to physics and the academy. Facing a life of racism, segregation, and discrimination, Bouchet is someone to look up to. In spite of all else, he built up his legacy from scratch and changed the world.